Okay, good evening, everybody, from where you are tuning in. Thank you so much for making time to be with us today. Someone confirm to me via thumbs up that you can hear me. Awesome. Thank you, Janet. Thank you, Evans. Thanks, David. Thanks, Chris. I can see Adeline. Welcome. I can see Charity. You're welcome. Daniel, our speaker, you're already in the call. Welcome. Dylan, welcome. Yes, and Marvin, most welcome to our webinar today. So today we are going to be having a very interesting topic, which we will be taken through by Daniel Clement. So before I introduce him and hand over the mic to him, let me just tell you briefly about our community. So if you are new to CloudForceSky, we are a community of cloud enthusiasts who have come together to learn and build in the cloud. So we are working together as a team, and we are working together as people at different skill levels, where we are learning from each other, building, architecting, provisioning infrastructure in the cloud. And it has been a good journey. We are already 2 years in, and it has been a journey of growth for most of us, most of our members. And we really appreciate the effort that everybody is putting into the community. So as a community, we have a couple of things that we organize, one of them being webinars, such as the one that we are having today. Another thing that we also do, we do weekly challenges, which are actually we call them monthly challenges because we do like a challenge a month. So these monthly challenges cover different themes or different topics which actually mirror what you would get in a real enterprise environment. So the kind of challenges we solve using the skills that we have gained over the years, they are actually matched up to make sure that they mirror what you will face in an enterprise environment. And we've been doing a lot this year. This year, our theme has been SDLC, the Software Development Lifecycle, where we have been going through all the different stages per month. And this past month, actually the month ended yesterday. We did the deployment phase, and we were dealing with deployment in the cloud. And this new month of October, we will still be doing deployment, but now we will be discussing deployment in the on-prem environment. Deployment in the on-prem environment. So look out for that. Look out for the challenge. The challenge will be out soon, and we are really interested to see the growth that is coming with it. And today, we decided to take a small detour from the SDLC lifecycle and just address this issue about AI. You know, as a techie person, you've seen what AI has been doing, and you've seen the buzz around it. Interestingly, just before I came into this call, I was in another session where they were talking about AI as a buzzword and how it is being applied in different enterprise environments. So it is really interesting to find that today we'll be learning from someone that has been using it, someone that has been doing it, and he'll be talking to us about AI in the financial space using AWS. So that is something very interesting that we'd like to learn from Daniel Clement. So about our speaker, Daniel Clement is a cloud advocate and also a DevOps engineer. He is someone that comes heavily loaded with experience, and today we'll be looking forward to learn from him. Daniel, confirm to me if you are in the call. Oh, Daniel seems to have dropped. Yeah, Daniel seems to have dropped, but let's give him a minute or so, but he'll be joining us shortly. Anyone from CloudForce, the admins, please try and reach out to him. Let us know if he's facing any technical challenges. We can help him to get back in the call. But welcome, everybody, welcome. And maybe just to engage each other before he comes back in. Someone tell us, how have you been using AI? How have you been using AI, either in your workspace or in your education, in your learning, or something like that? Generally, how have you been using AI? Anybody? I don't want to call names because I know people here. I don't want to call names. So, yes, Daniel is back. Daniel, we are happy to have you back. Thumbs up if you can hear me.
Yeah, thank you very much. Sorry, it's raining here and the network is just misbehaving. Sorry.
Sorry. We totally understand. Thank you. I was just asking the participants if they've ever used it. I was trying to fill the space before you joined, but I'm happy that you're
Oh,
back.
okay.
I've done an introduction of yourself, but I'd like you to tell us more about you, and then you just take us through the session. So, if it's okay with you, I'm going to
Oh,
hand over the
okay.
mic to you. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let me share my screen. Um, can everybody please see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Yes. Okay, that's nice. Thank God. So I'm Daniel Clement, a cloud advocate. Mostly I call myself a cloud advocate. Formally, in formal terms, I'm a dev solution engineer. I'm working for ACS Ghana or Adaptive Computer Solution Ghana. And I love everything about cloud and giving back to the community. So yeah, that is a little bit about me in short. So let's zoom into today's section. So basically, today we'll be talking about AI in financial service with AWS. And most frequently, or most um, in most sense, we, as part of our lives, go through daily financial, one way or the other financial mechanism in order to make our life better, make payments, savings, and what have you. But have we really thought about how AI, the new buzzword of today, if I'm not wrong, can really affect our how we trade or how we exchange goods for money for service in that direction. So whether being positive or negative, we would see it today. So our content will be looking at financial service as a broader spectrum. We're going to narrow it down. The impact of AI, so positive impact of AI in that direction, and also be looking at AWS AI and also ML building blocks that we're able to do what that's uh, available for us to use in order to what in order to build our AI that we we want to be able to serve our services better. Also, we're looking at business impact and also how at a particular business can AI help us to help grow maybe a customer or a business solution. We'll be looking at some risk management use case of which um, how AI is able to interfere with the company or individual with a small startup trying to do what trying to integrate AI into the system to be risk compliant or be compliant in their dealings. I'll have a little bit of takeaway and we'll be done. Okay. So let's look at financial services. So most appropriately, when we talk about financial services, what are we talking about? So financial services on a broader spectrum, of which we have the photograph of it, but I'm going to touch a little bit about the core category which we normally interact with on a daily basis. So most appropriately, we the core categories are banking, investment services, insurance, and fintech solutions, which is one of the biggest solution of our days currently. Looking at regulatory and compliance services. So, most likely, a financial service is just an economic activity that facilitates the management of investment, transfer, or the protection of money in order to do what? In order to build wealth for an individual, for a company, or help provide a solution for a company. So it can be either at the side of lending money, okay, like the banks, or not lending money like investment or insurance company. So that is it for financial services. It goes a long way, but I would want to it goes a long way concerning how they interact. So most likely, they have a saying that in the financial world, okay, your money goes around, just like when you make payment to your bank, particularly you are saving amount of money, maybe 10, 100 shilling, okay. That particular 100 shilling goes around. Probably the bank invests those shilling into into the forex market, and it goes to another channel and come back to you with a little bit of interest. And whilst the bank is getting richer, most likely are getting poorer because the bank invests a huge sum of money into making themselves grow, if I could say that, whilst they just put a little bit of interest on our money and we think that we are getting rich, but in another sense, we are just making the bank more rich and more rich every day. So that is a little bit about financial world. So from that, we will be talking about how AI impacts this financial world that we are talking about in terms of not only ourselves, okay, we those getting the services. So in two ways, those providing the services, that is the service providers, and those giving out the service, that is this and those what's it called, getting the services, that is the clients who want to interact with the system. So as one of the benefits of AI in the financial world, it's help us in risk management. And when I say risk management, every company, especially in the fintech world, would want to make sure that they they identify risks concerning maybe fraudulent transaction or document processes, and make sure that they are in checks. Okay. So most likely at every financial organization, you see mostly when you go to every financial organization, especially the fintechs, but I worked in a fintech company before. At every point in every corner of the company has cameras. So it's making sure not to scare you though, but just to make sure that it monitors the activities of the company and making sure that things are well standard, because at the end of the day, you'd have to be ISO standard and all those compliance certificates you have to get as a fintech industry or a fintech company doing that. So what AI does in risk management is to analyze data sets. Okay, so maybe customer information or maybe business processes. Okay, and it not only predicts but also mitigates operational faults. Okay, as mentioned earlier, or financial faults like you want to track fraudulent transaction, and also reduce cyber security risks. Okay, so let me speak about financial fault a little bit. So you see, most of the times, especially for startup fintechs, you have companies with bad intention of doing money laundering, and most likely they will come to you like a different small company or a company. We want to do money transactions, so maybe through USSD or maybe through applications or web app, and they use your channel as, or they use that fintech, the bigger fintech channel as a form or as a channel for doing their money laundering. So most likely they will come to you and say, maybe a year. And you could find that all of those things are lies, because they are finding a way to make to keep you in assurance that they want to do what they want to. Some of them can be true, obviously, but they are finding ways to making sure that they put you in a certain bracket so that when they are doing their bad stuff, you wouldn't notice. So this particular new company, let's say 2 years, would be at the first, maybe first round, be transferring maybe 100,000 or 1 million Kenyan shilling or dollars, let's say in 3 months. And all of a sudden, they are transferring 10,000 within maybe a month. Okay, that can be legitimate. No one is faulting that. But when you build system, or when you leverage AI in risk management, it brings all the operational, should I say, methodologies, okay, and it keeps your financial channel, okay, in check, so that you're able to identify that this company said they have this kind of amount of people, they are transferring this amount of money. Why the sudden change of maybe huge sums of money? So that is what AI can do in risk management, identifying those loopholes and pointing to you for you to maybe tell the company that what was a new change in this space, and you need to find out the truth. And also for fraud detection, I think what I've said, it got into fraud though, but for fraud detection, using AI machine learning algorithms can also identify anomalies and also suspicious patterns to prevent fraud across either banking or the insurance or the fintech or the e-commerce platform. So AI can also help you identify those pattern. And one interesting thing about which I'm going to talk about going forward is sentimental analysis. Okay, so I'm going to talk about sentimental analysis, where now it's gone past identify a pattern, like this person saved transferred 10,000 Kenya shillings within a month. Now he's transferring hundreds of million within a month. AI or system have has outgrown that services that, or advanced through that services that now you're able to do those checks in some at some point. Okay, but now advanced things or advanced tools that can not flag that as maybe is a fraudulent transaction. And that is where sentimental analysis comes in, where it's able to identify, especially for social engineering, where you identify that more or less giving out the feeling. So sentimental analysis is basically giving out the feeling of a particular issue. So the highs and lows of the tempo, just like you ask somebody question, hey, stop there. That the tonation of which you said, hey, stop there, can be flagged by the system if it's within that parameters you've defined. Okay, so before you be seen here in the system and it will just pass, nothing happens. Now, when sentimental analysis is being included within this fraud detection, it's able to flag it that there's something wrong with the system. Okay, so when we go to personalized, or what AI is doing in personalized custom or customer experience wonderfully, I think at every point in time we are experiencing this in one way or the other. Maybe we might know, maybe we might not know. It's about um, giving us the power to do what? To tailor interactions with behavior data. Okay, that probably gives recommendations. So you go to YouTube, you go to Netflix, you go to maybe an e-commerce site, you want to buy something. You buy maybe for a particular period of time, you buy shoe, maybe Nike. Okay, the next time you come, you want to get the AI system. Okay, sees the things that you like, and want to suggest maybe Adidas to you. Or want to suggest maybe what's other brands? Maybe Gucci bag or Gucci shoe. If there's Gucci shoe, I don't know, Gucci shoe to you to also buy. Okay, so it helps give one, the customer or the client better experience, and two, it also promotes the business of what, of the company, making sure that they have influx of customers day in and day out to purchase their product and their services. So, as one of the important things also is about the regulatory compliance that AI does well, and I was speaking about it in my earlier points. I'm going to touch a little bit on it too. So, AI basically helps in the automation of system that making sure that it adhere to the what, to the legal standard by monitoring transaction. Okay, we talked about it, and flagging some violations that doesn't conform to the business use case. Okay, and most importantly, instead of maybe now humans going to sit down to do auditing, okay, at a higher degree, why don't we have an AI system, okay, and this system basically would do what? Would manage the low to medium auditing processes. Okay. And the high auditing processes, or the one that requires maybe it's is big according to the company standard, human beings will just go into that portion and maybe do those compliance analysis. But for the low to medium, let's say talking about if people are connecting from external IPs with a company network, or people are going to wrong sites, okay, which is not acceptable during work hours, and all those things, you get it. There should be an AI system, okay, or AI gives you the power, or the company power, or a business power, okay, to be able to build a system around it that makes sure that you don't have to go and tell the network engineer that, please, I've seen people have, or mostly there's low productivity. So let's check the logs of the system, and we find out that okay, it's Netflix. People are pointing to Netflix. So now let's disable the IP address. Okay, why don't we have an AI system, or AI gives you the system to do what? To be able to identify that changes as soon as possible, and that's what, and flag the system in that direction. And that gives you more power or more control over your compliance and business processes. So again, we'll be looking at what are some of the impacts on of AI on a business, because we can't be talking about business without identifying or coming up with a good or positive way of making a business grow, okay, or making things or processes better for us. You can remember back in the day where you would want to maybe open an account, okay, and you are told to bring so many documents, you are told to join long queues. I don't know whether maybe there's still those things now, but in Ghana, most of those processes are being digitalized. Okay, so join long queues, fill many forms just to open a bank account. Okay, in a digital era, or this modern day, let's say 2025, the the level of technology has increased, okay, thanks to other factors and also thanks to AI. So now a bank has a mobile app, okay, that has a chatbot. So instead of going to the bank or phoning the bank, telling them that my account is blocked, how can I maybe retrieve my password? I'm not seeing my balance in my account. What can I do? You can speak to a bot within that particular web application, or within what's it called, the mobile app. Okay, so that is the advantage AI is giving us in order to what, to boost productivity or to enhance the experience of the financial world. Okay, so first of all, we're going to talk about the how fast and how AI have made automation of credit assessment very easy. So if anybody here is familiar with maybe loan taken from a bank, or loan taken from maybe third party institutions, okay, you could see that first you'd have to the same approach, go through so many headache in order to get your loan approved. As simple as that. But now it's just with a click of a button. Okay, it's just sitting on the comfort of your home, making sure that making sure that you pass the requirements. So one of the things that AI does, or company do, to making sure that these processes are very fast is to do what? Is to, as a form of assessment, is to streamline credit scoring by analyzing financial behavior of the particular user, okay, maybe in real time or maybe near real time, okay, and that also reduces overhead and decision latency at the company side and also for you too, okay. So if with the help of AI, companies are able to do what are able to grow very fast because now they don't have to worry about checking maybe this person passed this requirement, this person passed this requirement. The system has already done those systems for you, those checks for you, and it does what you're able to get your loan approved within 24 hours. And that's why now banks or financial institutions are shouting, I can approve your loan for you maybe in 2 hours, in 3 hours. And you're saying, wow, it's not a manual thing. If it's to be a manual thing, sorry, you see it to take days, okay. But because of now technology, they are hiding under the shadow of technology and saying my bank produce the best services. Obviously, it's true, but it's a lie because AI was able to help you in building that, or tech has been able to help you to build that kind of infrastructure that you are using to serve your customer, which is good. And that is why we are here. So looking at how companies or how financial industry would want to do what want to prevent fraud related activities or losses, because day in and day out, without your knowledge, okay, the bank or financial industry loses money maybe to wire fraud or ransomware or whichever fraud, okay. They every day, every second, every year loses money, but maybe you don't see them or you get to hear about them. So how can they make sure that they are able to do what they're able to at least mitigate some risks and reduce the loss of money? Okay, because at any point in time, one the funny thing about tech is you find a solution to maybe a problem. There's another advanced solution that would come and make sure that you don't the implemented solution is put in a bucket in what's it called in a waste bin or something like that. You get it, but for in order to at least should I say manage your finances very well, okay, AI can also help you to do what to reduce certain risks to maybe in terms of using the technology of what anomaly detection, helping interpret suspicious transfer before it maybe gets to the user. Sorry, I said the user. Okay, obviously the user or the customer, and also what protecting the assets and reputation of the company, because you don't want to be in a bank or in a financial let's say in company, okay, where there's ransomware attack and you know definitely you are saving amount of money, you have maybe amount of money in that bank in that particular institution. At that particular point in time, you might go crazy because you would definitely know your account has been hacked or has been affected, and that also creates a bad name. Most importantly for the financial company, because obviously they want to be on the top at every single point in time. So why don't they, or with the help of AI, okay, they can be on the top among maybe their colleague banks, okay, by leveraging AI and making sure that they protect the company's name and also the assets, that is the people's account and information within that space. So another benefit also would speak to the fact that it's AI helps in the automated or making automation of the monitoring of regulatory compliance very easy, okay, because now you have it in real time, okay, you've defined your checks, and when maybe there's a request coming in, okay, from a user, those checks are being passed, okay, and it's minimize what's compliance risks, okay, and also minimize auditing risks, so the company will still be able to what be in business. But the most important thing or what I call business impact is customer trust. So you every company or every individual, okay, would want to build trust, a long lasting trust, so that whatever happens, people will still know that, oh, even though he did this thing, maybe he's not his fault. He was not in his right senses, and he did it. So let's forgive them, or let's forgive him, and let's move on. That means that there's trust between those two parties. Or maybe your bank had been hit by a ransomware attack, but you still believe your bank that maybe an employer leaked an information, not is not the bank's fault. The employer, an angry employer who maybe got fired and leaked and also had access to some of the bank details, leaked the information. So you still trust them, and that is what every company or every individual would want to build that trust. And AI can help you build that trust because it helps your processes very transparent, secured, but I wouldn't say very secured. I'll be very careful about the choice of word. What I'm not saying very secured is that no system is 100% safe. No system in this world is 100% safe. Most likely it's because they haven't found you yet. Or they haven't seen you yet. That is why you think you are secured. Okay. If they find you and they want to get you, trust me, they will get you 100%. Okay. But because maybe they haven't found you yet, yes, you are secured. But that doesn't mean that you can be secured to a certain level. You can be very secure to a certain level because they have various, should I say, various layers of security. Okay, a simple hack maybe wouldn't affect your business, but maybe a big, I don't know, maybe a governmental hack or a hack activist or something like that from maybe Russia or maybe America or maybe something like that. A big like hacking group will can get hold of your system and you'll be out of business. Okay, so making sure that as a form of building trust, it's the implementing AI would make sure that your system are very confident, okay, and also leading to strong customer relationship and brand loyalty, of which I've said already, because you want to associate with a brand or a company that makes sure that they are on top of their business. So now we'll be talking about some of the AWS AI and ML building blocks, okay, and most likely I call them the core service, okay, that would help you leverage or help a business or a financial industry to do what, to stay on top of digitalization or making sure that they build that trust. Okay. So first of all, we have AWS Comprehend. So I quite mentioned sentimental analysis. Okay, yes. So AWS Comprehend helps in what? In natural language processing. That goes further in sentimental analysis and also doing what? Topic modeling. Okay. So I think I've explained financial sentimental analysis where by giving another example, let's say you see most of the time, let's put it in this way. Most of the time, you speak to Alexa or you speak to Siri, and you express emotion. Okay, even though the system is not in original form, is not built to what, to see your emotion or you know how you feel. Okay, but you could see that this AI system, okay, whether Alexa or maybe additional any other AI system, would more or less try to do what, maybe sympathize with you or try to what, feel your pain. And this comes from this comes from the methodology of what, sentimental analysis, making sure that the system tries to do what, feel your pain, feel your emotions, and try to do what, maybe perform a task according to that emotions or according to that task. Okay. And when we talk about, and that is what AWS comprehend work best in that front. And also when we talk about topic modeling, so topic modeling basically is how maybe a business or an individual, okay, or a financial institution can know what the customers want, because obviously you want to create an um, additional value for your customers, making them wanting to come to you to bank with you or save with you at every point in time. So what do you do? With the help of AWS Comprehend integrated into your system, you can you can run unsupervised machine learning model. Okay, and this model does what? It's able to identify what what are some of the frequent things the customers are searching for. So let's say the customers are searching for um, um, let's say customer feedback. By the help of AWS Comprehend, okay, these informations, okay, are being extracted, okay, are being extracted from what? From the system, and is being trained, okay, by this particular model, okay, by a particular model you defined, okay, and making sure that the company gets the best of what their customers want. So instead of maybe, even though it's good to ask them what are your remarks concerning these services? You can also do them in another form where you make AI take the lead and give you that feedback. Okay. And most likely its key characteristics is based on unsupervised learning. So whereby you don't have to the data is being or the AI learns what's it called, the input or the feedbacks day in and day out without you being maybe retraining them again. That is what ChatGPT does. Okay, being trained, but because it's unsupervised, any new data coming in, it learns it and adds it to its collection. Whenever there's a new information regarding that data it learns, it gives you an output concerning that. And also, pointing out a use case would be, okay, I've said it already, identify common customer issues and trends from maybe the chat logs, okay, from the bank app, okay, or maybe understanding a particular service the customers want in order to make them happy. Okay. So topic modeling in that form is also one of the technique you can use to do what? You can use to enhance business workflow or grow your customer in that perspective. So looking at Amazon personalize, okay, this basically helps you to do what? Mostly works hand in hand. I wouldn't say hand in hand though, but I would say it's somewhat like comprehend, but in different form, because the personalize helps you to do what? To ascertain or get real-time tailored information or feedback or recommendation on user behavior. So how users interact on that particular bank application, okay, they are doing more transfers. So your company will be informed that, oh, let's build a more sustainable or high resilient or high availability available payment system, so that at every point in time where user make transaction, they're able to do what? They're able to get the best of service. Or maybe they want additional value. Personalized would get all this information from user behavior, okay, and making sure that this data is sent to the business owners of the company for them to get more insights concerning what the customers want. And also our famous SageMaker. So SageMaker is used to train, to build, to deploy a machine learning model at scale, at any scale you want, just that you'll be paying for it. And most likely you're at liberty to unlike, let's say, Bedrock, you have liberty to do what? To customize your own model. Okay, so you have the freedom to use your Jupyter notebook or whatever should I say, how do they even call it? Is it book or libraries or something like that? To able to do what? To able to train your model as you want. Okay, so SageMaker basically helps you to the end-to-end training of your machine learning services or input that you want to feed into the um, system. So you want to maybe based on the feedback you've gotten from using personalizer to the customer feedback. Okay, you want to train a model that would make sure that when you get those feedback, those models or the services that is being trained would maybe create something new for the customer to experience. So getting the information now, it goes to maybe another route which is being trained, and tell the user that, oh, I can suggest maybe a nice restaurant for you, maybe at Kampala, or maybe depending on where you are, or maybe you can see this new investment or this new investment our company has brought up. Why don't you invest? Those kind of information to enhance your banking or your financial aspects very well. And also for text extracts, it basically helps you to, and it's very intelligent, and it basically helps you to extract structured data from scanned documents and forms. So just like how maybe our iPhone does or maybe our scanner does, but this does it intelligently. Emphasis being placed on intelligence to help you make sure that those information are extracted in high resolution and making sure that they are being transported to maybe an S3 bucket to perform another function, or maybe transported to SageMaker to able to do what? To able to perform another function. Okay. So when you talk about Bedrock, okay, so Bedrock helps you to do what they are basically foundational models. Okay, when you're talking about foundational models like Anthropotic and also Meta, um, OpenAI services, okay, or OpenAI or ChatGPT, that helps you to do what? And one thing about Bedrock is fully managed. That helps you do what? Build a scale of what generative AI application on top of that model. So you want to build a generative AI for maybe for your customers. Okay. So Bedrock gives you that foundation that hey, here I am. Okay. You can use me. So I have maybe ChatGPT, I have Claude AI, I have all these famous AI that you use on your own. I have them here, and you can leverage on those those models to build on top of your services for your customers. Okay. So talking about RAG, retrieval augmental generation, where you want to do what? Have a continuous and pre-trained data to allow to do what? To enhance your customer experience. So moving on to fraud detector. So the fraud detector is also in a way where you can do what you can customize it. Okay, so it's customable. Machine learning service to identify potentially fraud activity using historical data. So instead of maybe somebody would like to maybe use Amazon fraud detector, okay, to identify maybe fake documents, okay. Somebody also would prefer using SageMaker to train models right from scratch and build on top of those technologies to enhance customer experience. So AWS helps you, or the Amazon fraud detector helps you to do what? To at a goal leverage on some of the identifiable patterns that could enhance your fraudulent activity detection. Okay. Moving on to Kendra. One important thing about Kendra is that it helps you to do what? To do So more or less a semantic search service is more or less a semantic search service that also uses natural language processing to I call it with a touch of deep learning or deep learning to deliver relevant answers for structured and also for unstructured data source. So you'd want to do what probably want to maybe match a contest, okay, within your risk compliance processes to an intent. So, for example, if somebody brings a fake document or the system detects that it's a fake document, you would have to do this. Okay. If somebody within the company's, let's say, WhatsApp group or Teams, okay, say this thing, extract the conversation because obviously you want to do what would is not a place where you could, yes, you could do your play, but it's just for business chat and all those things. But you want to input certain things that are out of business. There can be an AI. You could use Canva, okay, to extract those conversation, okay, to see or to monitor the activities of your users, okay, or your employees within the banking sector or what they see, because obviously people are not saints to some extent. They can plan and maybe steal money from the bank or give access to what's it called, a hacker to what, to exploit the maybe the vulnerabilities in the bank. So you want to do what, match all those things to the intent and making sure that you come out with a refined solution or insights in that direction. Okay, it does so many things. Also supports the RAG. Okay, and which also integrates with Bedrock and also help you to do what, to give your business a better insight. Okay, would also want to look at what some particular use case, okay, about the how we can manage or how we can go about risk management in our company. So can we all see the writings very well? Hello. Let me see. Yes, it's just it's. Let me see. Let me see this guy. Okay. Let me see. Can we see them better now? Okay. Thank you very much. So what do we want to do here? So basically, we would want to do what, as taking for example, as a fintech industry. And by the way, the most important thing or what I did here is to define my intention. Okay, thank God or thanks be to AI, define my intention. Okay, I want to build. I wrote down the requirements of how to um, go through a risk management flow. Okay, or how AWS can do that. I combined all the services or the services that we need and just gave it to was it ChatGPT, one of the AI, and it gave me this picture, this beautiful picture, just to make sure that I explain my concept very well. In even though I didn't do architectural diagram, I decided not to do architectural diagrams today, but just have the intent here so that it would be very simplified and for us to understand the flow very well. So thanks be to AI. Yes. So looking at the risk management use case I did, what the intent of doing this is to as a way of showing how businesses can basically do risk management. Okay, so now a company data sitting maybe on-prem or sitting maybe in the cloud. Okay, would want to do what, would integrate with the AWS services. So this diagram basically is, or this flow is basically explaining that in a case whereby, in creating a scenario whereby I would want to make sure that the documents that our customers present to us, okay, because we are a big institution here, and our customers present documents to us so that we're able to do what? We're able to validate them and maybe give them, let's say, support, business support, SMEs, or loans. So this is a system for it. So all those data are sitting at the banking system or maybe cloud. Those data are being injected, okay, and it's either I use, as seen in the diagram, is that I use S3 or kinesis, how you pronounce it, to do what? To get those information. So the information are raw. I get those information in S3 buckets and keep them. Now, this data, because they are raw or unstructured or structured, they go through the data pipeline processes. Okay, so they extract, they transform, and they load. Okay, so those information, because they are unstructured or they are raw, now goes through AWS Glue, okay, or maybe you want to run maybe an external like maybe with integration of Apache Airflow, all those data pipeline. You get the data in, okay, it's being refined. So those documents from the users are being or the customers are being refined concerning maybe these districts because you want to match them concerning district by district, maybe locality by locality or county by county. Okay, so you make sure that okay, by the end of the year, the business wants to identify that we're able to give maybe 5,000 Kenyan shillings to this county, able to give 400 loans, 400 Kenyan money to this said county, and it helps you take decisions better to see which county is taking more money and maybe what they are using it for, why the use case, and all those things. So you prepare those data, okay, and those data integrate with the API gateway, Lambda, and also Cognito. Because the reason I'm saying is that because you have a web portal, so the Cognito would do what? It would make sure that it authenticates the user based on the account profile. Okay. And the API gateway would make sure that it does what? It gives authentication access. So whatever authentication, like maybe Auth0 or maybe Entra ID if you're integrating to the Microsoft Word, or whatever authentication you want to do what? You do want to integrate to the system too, so that you create a secure channel. Okay. Those information comes through. Okay. Lambda sends a signal that, oh, we have this in our system. We have this document structured, beautifully done in our system. Let's push it on to training a model, okay, or let's push it on to having a checklist in the model because here the model has been trained already. You do want to do what? You want to have a checklist to see if they qualify for the loan or they don't qualify for that particular loan. Okay, so that you make sure that your company at the end of the day or has accounted for every bit of loans they're giving out to making sure that they can make future plans or future progression to provide better service for a particular county. So now it comes into the SageMaker, okay, and let's say it's fresh data. Fresh data is being trained to see the various check marks. Then, if it passes, it goes through the what? The it sends information through the SageMaker endpoint, okay, which can be near real time or real time based on what the company will want to do. Okay. It sends the information, let's say real time, because banks are promising us 24 hours or 2 hours loan approval. Okay. So it sends those information through the endpoint, okay, or it's being connected to the endpoint, the SageMaker endpoint, to what? To our SNS, okay. either email or maybe text message that, oh, your document that you sent is legit. We've done the checks, and yeah, you'll be getting your loan in maybe in 2 minutes time. As simple as that. And the business would want to do what, get an insight on that particular flow that is gone through. So they'll use, or there's a requirement for them to use CloudWatch to do what, to monitor those logs and matrices, and use QuickSight or any external, maybe Grafana, or using Elasticsearch, or maybe in Datadog to what, to visualize that particular data within that particular system, okay, or the system they built, okay. And in order to keep security in checks, we will have either our key management system or service, okay, or custom management service or system. And we would have our AWS config, CloudTrail for compliance sake. And obviously, we'll have our security checks, our NACOs, IAM, security groups, making sure that we build a highly resistant and protective environment that cannot be easily hacked. Okay. And that is basically the flow of a company. Very simple, the flow of a company wanting to what, to have a risk management use case. Moving forward to the key takeaway as we come to a close, I always say AI is no longer an option in financial service. It's a competitive and necessity for risk management and customer experience, highlighting the customer experience, because every company or business or individual live on relationship, and that comes from what, customer experience. So with the help of AI, we're able to do what, not only risk management, enhance our apart from financial transaction or services, also our application or our method of or old way of doing things into a digital way. And I would say thank you for having me, and I'm open to questions. Thank you very much. Okay, sure.
Okay, so awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Daniel, for that beautiful session. That was quite something. Learning, getting to know how AI is beneficial even in the financial sector. Fintech is a very sensitive area. Yes, yes, yes. So
Yeah.
we are really glad that you spared some time to even share those input with us. So guys, the floor is open for questions. Anyone with any questions? Anyone with a question, please feel free to just unmute and ask, because looking at the chat, I don't see any questions. Or is there any? Yeah, there is no question on the chat section. So anyone with the
Seems
questions?
yes, everybody
Yes.
seems to understand the financial world better, and they like to tell us how they are hiding behind AI or technology to make their services better.
It's interesting because it can be either way. Sometimes when you ask people for questions and then no one is asking a question, it's either the presentation was so flawless and people understood, or people have a lot to go and chew over
Yeah,
just
it's
to
true.
understand.
It's
But
true.
that
Yeah.
was really good. That was really good. And I actually personally, I think I really loved the session where you've spoken about the different AWS services and what they do. I have tinkered with some of them. I've tinkered with Textract.
Yeah.
I've done a few projects with Bedrock. That was really good. Comprehend is also one of them. And so I believe what we normally do here at CloudForce is that we always take whatever we learn and we go and try and practice it out. So let us all go out there and try practice. If you're working in the financial sector, now you know how AI can help you. And if you are a customer, of which I believe all of us are, if you hear your bank bragging that they can approve your loan at lightning speeds, at least Daniel has told us it is not that they have become very good overnight. It is AI helping them. So that was really, really good. And I think that is the right way of applying AI. AI is supposed to make businesses operate efficiently,
Sure.
and with
Sure.
speed and with minimal error. So that was really, really good. So Daniel, that was really good. I believe on LinkedIn, they can find you on LinkedIn as Daniel Clement. Yes, they can,
Yes. Yes.
and please feel free also to share your link, your LinkedIn link on the chat, so that guys can connect with
Let me
you.
just do that right now. Yes.
Yeah, so that
Sure.
guys can connect with you. And thank you so much. Thank you so much, Daniel, again. And we are looking forward to hosting you again and again, because you have been
Yeah. Sure.
you have been a very key contributor to the success of our community. So thank you very much, and thank you to everybody that made time to be with us today. Let us wait. Don't leave the call yet until Daniel shares his LinkedIn link. And if you joined us late, don't worry.
Okay. It's in.
Awesome. There it is. There it is. There it is. I believe that you guys can see it. That is Daniel's link. So I'll give you a minute or two for you to just click it and go there and follow him. That is awesome. That is awesome. And I was saying, if you joined us late, you can always find our recordings on our channel. Our channel goes by the same name, CloudForceSky. And now I will not keep you guys, because I know today is Wednesday. Tomorrow is still work day and school day for some of us. So thank you again, Daniel. Thank you, everybody that was here. From us here at CloudForce, we wish you all a good night, and see you in the next webinar. Bye for now.
Bye. Have a nice evening.
Thank you, Daniel. Bye bye.
Bye bye.